right on cue with Christmas just 9 days away. VIPs in the crowd here tonight in Minneapolis. But the last one. I'll buy the first two. Then you got like Ditka Santa. Come on, Bear is. Well.
What's that?
How would you find Will Smith in the snow? You look for Fresh Prince.
Oh.
Come on, everybody.
That could have gone so many ways.
That's so true.
You're listening. Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
With Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood bar.
We're doing it. We're doing it. We're having fun. We're making it happen.
It's fun time. Open your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise. And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters on a special day and time. It is our third annual Kissmas Spectacular, where whether you love the band Kiss, you hate the band Kiss, we can all get together and laugh at the band Kiss or with the band Kiss. And as the great Chip Chipperson would ask, what's got you laughing? Well, today, what's got us laughing is the great Don Jamieson, who is showcasing a beautiful vinyl copy of Kiss Alive, which earlier this year we celebrated 50 years of Kiss Alive. And look, whoa, my gosh, you got it signed? I didn't even realize that.
By the great Peter Criss. Yes. Unfortunately, I got nobody else to sign it, but Peter was cool enough to put his John Hancock on there, and I'm
That's
pretty
great.
happy about that.
That's fantastic.
When I bought that album, when I was 12 or 13 years old, to think that Peter Criss's actual signature would be on it, that was a dream.
Yeah, absolutely.
How would I ever meet Kiss?
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe if they played at Convention Hall in Asbury Park, I don't know. How would it have ever happened when you were a kid? They would have had to be in New Jersey.
My parents made it painfully clear that I was too young. Go see that dirty rock and roll.
So that's why you only saw them for the first time on the End of the Road tour 2 years ago. You finally, your parents were like, all right, Don, you're old enough. You can go see Kiss now.
I saw years 5 and 8. I don't know which ones you saw.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably going to start up again. By the way, in the chat, Hellraiser69. Oh, hey, Don.
Oh, hey, Don. No, this is full price Don here.
Yeah, full price Don. Exactly. And we appreciate you being here. A little later, our buddy Craig Gass will be here, and that'll be for the Kissmas festivities. And even though he's not here, you can follow him on social media at Craig Gass Comedy, his website, getgas2ss.com. And Don, you are on social media. Well, you're on X as Real Don Jamieson. And I know because every time I tag you in a tweet, I type in Real Don and only 2 names come up. Real Don Jamieson and Real Donald Trump. And,
yes. I've been the brunt of many an angry tweet where somebody, was anger posting and they hit my name by accident in their, rush to scream at our president, and I answer them back, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, and he routinely gets asked what his favorite Thin Lizzy album is. So,
yes. I never thought of it that way. I bet he does.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's got a good answer. And of course, your latest special, No Sleep Till McSorley's, is available from Metal Blade Records, the great Metal Blade Records, I need to say contractually. And this special can be viewed on your YouTube channel, Don Jamieson. It's, you know what? We have an audio audience, Jamieson. Don't put the I somewhere else. That's where it goes.
Now, what about the hearing impaired audience? Can you sign that?
We'll get Garrett Morris to just yell really loud.
Okay.
for a joke that's really hysterical with the kids. Oh, and by the way, Hellraiser
Gass as Garrett Morris.
Craig Gass would have to be a little careful with his Garrett Morris impression. You might be a little
top shelf Don Jamieson.
Top shelf Don Jamieson is the one who is here, and we appreciate that. So we've got all sorts of fun things in store. Want to let everybody, and I do mean everybody, know you can leave a voicemail for Who Are These Broadcasters by calling 585-612-1388. Just say it's for WATB, not any of the shows that end with a different letter. And go to whoarethese.com. While you're there, you can join the Patreon or become a member on YouTube. You'll get 2 bonus episodes every month, and you'll watch two. And the show record live every Saturday, including tomorrow, when Carl will be at the beautiful NLO studios in Las Vegas for a special episode of Who Are These Podcasts. And speaking of Las Vegas, tickets are now available for Hackamania 3, Hack to the Future, April 10th through the 12th in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Use the promo code BEARS because not only will you save 10% on your tickets, it also could help us get our friend Eric Zane there. I can drive, so we don't have to raise any funds for me. But EZ is giving all of his money to the needy this holiday season. So, and speaking of giving money,
how do I get on that?
Giving money?
No, on Hackamania.
You talked to Patrick Melton. Do you know him from Nobody Likes Onions? All right. I feel like there's a connection that can be made.
I know from the Onion site and all that.
That's very different. Yeah. This is a guy who, he focuses on a number of things, but he's drawn the ire of a former Minnesota disc jockey named Steel Toe, Aaron Imholt. So that's how he's probably best known in this moment in time.
Do you think he would spell my name properly if it was scrolling across the bottom of his podcast?
Oh no, did I not do that?
Well, listen, you did a good job with the spelling it verbally, but when it came to the text, not so good.
I don't even know what you're talking about. It's
Not so
the craziest.
good.
No, if you look down there, it's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Yeah. Look, I had to remember to leave on the second S in Craig Gass because the second S is for savings.
That's right.
I do need to let the audience know how super chats work for this show since my buddy Eric Zane's not here. I can't keep my eyes peeled on the poor chat, aka the free chat. So if you want to get on the show, super chat and super chat often. The highest dollar amount will be my sign off at the end of the show. So be creative, be offensive, try to get me canceled, divorced, or both. Whatever you want to put in my mouth, you can just slide it right in there if the price is right. That doesn't sound suggestive at all, does it?
That could be taken a few ways, Christian, and I don't appreciate that kind of tenor for a Christmas show.
Yeah, you know what? That's right. But it is a Kissmas show, so
That's true.
We can slide the other way.
We can get a little sexy.
Yeah, exactly. You can definitely. Hey, it ain't no crime to be good to yourself, as we all know. I think we all know that. Well, let's start off, as we so often do, with some local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
This is a really quick one, but it happened in the great state of New Jersey. So I thought I would share. At least I think it was New Jersey. I don't know, somewhere around there. But this is terrible. Somebody just, in the old days, you used to be able to steal decorations without there being evidence.
Someone taking their holiday decorations from their home on Gray Avenue in Medford. This was around 4 a.m. on Wednesday.
So, people used to steal pumpkins or whatever, but they were smart enough that you can't really make out who it is. But I'm going to ask you, Don, if you and a bunch of buddies, when you were a younger man, what would you do with this once you stole this decoration?
You usually don't think that far ahead. When
it's true.
Usually, you've had a few, and you commit the crime, and then you get over the fence there, and then you look at each other and go, "Oh, what do we do with this now?"
And you just leave it out in the street.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like stealing a car. It's like, all right, now what do we?
We made the mistake once of being in the local paper for growing the largest pumpkin in town in my mom's garden, and the day after, somebody snuck into our backyard and slashed the shit out of the pumpkin. So they probably wanted to smash it, but it was the largest pumpkin in Greenwood Lake, New York, so you couldn't lift it. And that's a fact, Jack. We all remember.
You really want to go through all that effort to put on? I mean, it looked like he was breaking into a museum to steal a valuable piece of art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's completely, everything there's no way to identify him whatsoever. And he's stealing an inflatable dinosaur on somebody's lawn.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, now you have an extra Barney. Good for you.
Yeah.
We all remember Pizza Rat from a few years ago, a rat dragging a giant slice of pizza down the stairs of the New York City subway. But, there's a new, we've got a new version on that, let's just say.
New York City subway were keeping riders entertained yesterday. Someone caught two of them wrestling over a bagel inside the Essex station in the Lower East Side.
The rodents went back and forth for more than 3 minutes. A subway train actually arrived as they were still fighting, so no one really knows which rat came out victorious. But, I mean, New York bagels, you gotta have one.
They like them dry, no cream cheese.
Oh, that's why I left that on there. You needed that tag, didn't you?
Oh yeah. The newscaster ad lib is one of the most precious parts of the whole story.
It's usually what this show is built on is newscaster ad libs, but nice. You get a B+ for effort. Mitt Romney's lighting double or whatever that guy's name is. The interesting thing about it though is that pizza. Not that pizza. That rat bagel. Even after these two pulled it and dragged it across the subway tracks, it would taste better than any bagel you could get here in Los Angeles.
Yes, this is true. And the good thing is, if you're a rat in the stabway, you never have to worry about it being assaulted or pushed on the tracks because you're already on the tracks.
Right, exactly. They're the only ones safe at that subway stop. This one I'm sure did happen in New Jersey. This is well, let's just take a look.
This video yet of this wayward deer that disrupted holiday shopping at a Marshall store. Yeah, a Marshall store in Brick, New Jersey. News 4's Ted Greenberg shows us how it all went down.
I jumped into action, didn't think twice.
So I don't want to drag you into this being unkind here, but for our audio audience, I'm just going to have to explain that I'm pretty sure that this lady has never jumped quick into any kind of action, and she had plenty of time to think twice, but she did get scared by a deer, and you can see why the other girl's her friend, by the way, because, you know, in any other lineup, this girl would be a 6, but you're like, oh, but next to her, that's a 609.8 on the scale. Huh? You like the area code joke? That was for you, Don.
Today's wild encounter began when a deer crashed into her cart. She and best friend Caitlin Kime were Christmas shopping inside this Marshall store in Brick Township.
Which probably the worst thing for her friends and family is like, wait a minute, you're Christmas shopping for me at Marshall's? You know, it's like, oh, okay. So Big Lots was closed. Well, thanks. I'm glad that you think this much of me.
Sometimes the story within the story is more entertaining.
Yes.
Store in Brick Township.
And once it started flailing and stuff, I started following it all the way through the store.
Watch out, everybody! Move out of the way!
This video given to Krista and Caitlin by another customer captured the commotion on Friday. The store full of shoppers at the time, including, Krista says, a baby in a stroller, a pregnant woman, and elderly people.
Oh man, this story could have really taken a turn. That deer could have really fucked some lives up at Christmas time. But instead, I don't know, I'm just assuming maybe that girl has a hankering for venison. I'm not sure why she's chasing it around the store. Do you have any ideas?
Well, as you know, and this says a lot about where our society is now, that even wildlife is looting. And you really, they tell you, if someone steals something, you just let them go. You don't try to restrain them or chase them around the store because that's racist. You just let them go. So, I don't see the point in doing it. Let the deer take what it wants and it'll be on its way. And they got insurance.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And too many deer coming into my local CVS is why everything's locked up when I go in there. It really is a problem, all the deer there. Let's finish up this story.
I was more worried about them than my own safety.
She just immediately sprung into action. I don't even think she thought about what was going on.
Are these people indicative of Brick Township? I don't want to badmouth a community in New Jersey, but I don't know. I mean, this seems like their one good outing a year is when they go to the Freehold Mall, but otherwise they're just hanging out there at the Marshalls in Brick.
Well, let's just say that in my county they call Bricktown the low rent district. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying.
No, you're saying other people say it. Yeah, you're not saying.
Never.
Yeah, you're just saying.
And I told everyone, please stay calm, stay where you're at. I was trying to prevent it from jumping high so it didn't jump over anything.
Krista managed to corner the deer, wrangle it, and then safely guided the animal out the front door.
How did you know how to wrangle a wild animal like that?
I don't know.
I mean, look at me.
It was just first instinct, jump right into action. Help out.
Krista and Caitlin say the deer ran off with what appeared to be some minor cuts on its legs. After this holiday shopping chaos they never saw coming.
We're very thankful my friend was able to do it all. She saved the day. She saved the day.
It's not clear exactly how the deer got into the store. A spokesperson for Marshalls did not provide an answer on that.
I don't think they should have to. It's like, I don't know, somebody left the door open. There's only a couple of ways. Like a bird getting in, you can kind of figure out how that happens. But a deer that gets in, the door was probably open too long.
And that deer, I don't know if you saw the follow-up to the story. It was eventually tracked down by Brick Township police, but it had only stolen $990 worth of merchandise. So they let it go on its own recognizance.
Well, you know what? It is a Christmas miracle after all. I have another deer story that shows it could have been a lot worse.
54-year-old Ohio woman who spent more than a decade rescuing injured deer has died in a heartbreaking incident. She was found trapped in a pen on her property with a male deer she was rehabilitating, and the animal apparently attacked her. Responding deputies arrived late in the evening to a distress call at her home. Family members had tried to stop the buck themselves, but the situation became too dangerous. Ultimately, law enforcement intervened and shot the aggressive deer to reach her. Sadly, she did not survive. Authorities say she was severely injured and she was pronounced dead at the scene.
Well, so this is the funny part.
Her passing has left her community deeply shaken. Her daughter has made one thing clear. The deer responsible is not the one she first rescued years ago.
So don't think that all deer look the same. That's what her daughter's trying to say. Just because there's one bad deer, all the other ones she let in her house are fine.
A beloved deer she named and cared for like family. That deer, she says, was neutered and was never aggressive.
Well, that's what you got to do is you got to neuter these deer, Don.
Or fuck them.
Well, yeah, one way or the other, they got to get the poison out.
Despite having permits to keep the deer, her family and loved ones say this tragedy underscores just how unpredictable wild animals can be, even when cared for with love. 2 state agencies.
That's why I let it go so long, even when cared for it with love. The deer's like, oh, I should really attack this bitch so I can get out of here. Oh, but she does love me.
Yeah, I got to give her that.
Anyway, you know, again, fun holiday cheer. That's how we do things here at Who Are These Broadcasters. And when you're getting together with your family, please be careful. Don't lean somewhere that might not be fully supported. This happened at Thanksgiving, but it should be a word to the wise for anybody getting together with family this Christmas season.
Bravo! Bravo!
Yeah. All right.
Bravo!
Oh!
I've seen this and it still gets me every time. A New Jersey family was listening to a pre-dinner speech, and just as it ended, you see right there, a table lined with trays of food suddenly came crashing down. You can hear everyone's audible gasps as they looked in or on in disbelief. The family says they salvaged what they could, but most of the food was destroyed.
So the video doesn't actually show it, but we can use Zapruder-like technology. It's this old broad on the end in the red pants who leaned on the table.
Everyone's audible gasps as they looked in or on in disbelief. The family says they.
So I'm sure that they. Go ahead.
By the way, New Jersey's taking a beating on this show right now. I mean, you did this on purpose. This was meant to shame me.
I may have saved all the New Jersey stories from the last month for this week's episode. I may have. But I think that, I'm sure that they had a tremendous Thanksgiving catered by Chipotle or whatever was open, and they could all laugh about it. But
the girl that was standing in front of the table was probably relieved. She's like, oh, great. Now I don't have to stick my finger down my throat after dinner this year. She's about 80 pounds.
Yeah. And nobody's going to pay attention to how, she probably gave a pretty shitty speech. She had like 4 pages there. Maybe that's why this relative did it. It's like, I know how to shut her up and just lean on her.
All right. She's 10 seconds in and I'm bored. Let's get this over with. Wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, over the years on this show, we had so many local news stories that featured bears that we actually have our own jingle.
WATV, who are these bears? Who are these bears?
Yep, we made somebody make a jingle that says, "Who are these bears?" And I think the production value speaks for itself. Thanks to Doug in the jingles department. And if we are talking about bears, reminder to use promo code BEARS when buying your tickets for Hackamania, April 10th through the 12th in Las Vegas. So any time of year, bears want to celebrate just like the people. So this is a Christmas parade in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Few weeks we've told you about the bear on the roof. We've told you about the bear with the chainsaw, but tonight we've got a look at a bear who was just trying to get into the holiday spirit. This is a look at last night's parade in Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg celebrated a golden milestone last night as they marked the 50th annual holiday parade through downtown. This year, country music artist Hunter Hayes led the parade, but it looked like that bear might have wanted to be the grand marshal.
So do you think that the bear was just a Hunter Hayes fan? I'm not familiar. I don't follow country music, but maybe he does a lot of outreach to the bear community.
Well, and speaking of people who do a lot for the bear community, Craig Gass will be on later, but
in a few minutes, about 20 minutes. Yeah,
that's a different kind of bear. But I've been to Gatlinburg, and the bear have no fear of humans whatsoever in that town. And what was the parade for?
It's the Christmas parade.
Oh, okay. Or as we would call it, the Christmas parade, or you might get mauled by a bear parade.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're going to call it next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, we always lean on in-studio banter after a story.
Might have wanted to be the grand marshal. Okay, if I saw a bear like that, I don't think I would stand there. I would probably run, which is not what you're supposed to do.
No, but you could not do anything or back off. Don't go toward it. I mean, why aren't they hibernating yet?
You know what? I Googled it this weekend. My dad's in town because bears in Tennessee do not hibernate.
They don't?
No.
Oh,
we'll have more fun facts at 11.
Could you imagine being that lady's dad? You come to town and first thing she says is, "Dad, I just Googled it. The bears aren't hibernating yet."
She must be from Jersey.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, but maybe not Brick. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe Monmouth County.
Yeah. A little bit more Monmouth County. Our friend in the Discord sent us another version of the story. So shout out to Hot Gilf 69 in the Discord. That probably reminds you of your single days, of the kind of people you'd run into on the road, Don.
It sure does.
So thank you, Hot Gilf 69.
Well, our parade didn't turn or have the surprise appearance. Rather, parade goers were stunned by an unexpected guest during the 50th annual Fantasy of Lights Christmas parade in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. On Friday, the animal showed up just as crowds began to clear. The curious black bear was caught on camera rummaging through a downtown trash can just after the parade wrapped up. It is not the first time a bear has gone viral there.
So that's the problem. These bears come to our parades. They go through our trash can. And again, he could go into a store and steal $989 and be released on his own recognizance.
But you know what they really should do down there? Because again, I do a festival down there every summer. And I mean, they really tell you, man, like just always be looking around, because the bear just will walk down the middle of the street. They should just put like 500 pounds of ground beef at the end of the road and do the running of the bears, right? Instead of the running of the bulls, we do the running of the bears. Everybody runs through the street, and sure, there's going to be a few casualties, but it's a celebration.
I would be willing to sign on as a sponsor, sponsor a bear in the running of the bears. By the way, talking about Tennessee and this time of year, it's a good time to remember our trip to Santa's Pub earlier this year in Nashville. We got the holiday season started early back in April. Great night at Santa's Pub. And I would have worn that shirt today, but it's Kissmas, so I had to wear my Kissmas shirt.
Well, the sad follow-up is that Santa's Pub got sold.
No.
Yes.
All right, I'm never going back to Nashville. That's it.
Neither am I, man. But I did hear good news that it may stay. The family may keep it open as it was, but Santa himself has passed.
Oh, and by the way, that means the guy who owned the bar who looked like Santa. Don't worry, kids, because we have a lot of kids who watch the show. The real Santa is still alive.
And now let's roll the video of you mangling Cheap Trick beyond, almost like a bear attack. you mangling cheap
You
Trick
know, I have
doing
that
karaoke
video.
in Santa's pub.
I have that video, but we have so much other stuff to get to, including
There's nothing
this,
more important than that.
including this super chat from the great Count Eric Connor. Is that the real Don Jamieson or Marshall's Don Jamieson? This is the real deal, and we appreciate the real Don Jamieson being here. As I've said before, we can't get discount on this show. You know, he's got too many people to go through. So a part of our Christmas celebration before we get to Kissmas momentarily, if you've got kids, you're probably irritated beyond belief by the 6-7 trend that is going on. And if you don't have kids, the mere mention of it might drive you into a murderous rage. So I thought that this year would really be the first, last, and only opportunity that we could do a new segment here.
It's a very 6-7 Christmas, the most expensive time of the year. Crappy gifts all from China, drain the bank account to zero. It's a very 6-7 Christmas, the gayest time of the year.
Everybody.
Listen to who are these broadcasters.
That's us.
And set your Christmas tree on fire.
By the way, that song has been added to hot rotation on SiriusXM Holly, the all Christmas station. So I expect to hear that. That's the problem with the jingles department, is that I asked them, hey, can you do something with this really stupid idea I had? And they're like, sure, no problem. And then they give me something back that's 45 seconds, you know.
The production value of this show never ceases to amaze me.
Yes, and we can thank Carl for that while he's having fun in Las Vegas. Hopefully joining us in the chat. We'll see if he's watching. But if we are going to talk about 6-7, Don, is this is something that you must be aware of because you know, the media will cover things like this. This is
well, yeah, sure. I mean, there's nothing a 59-year-old man knows better than DJ Skrilla.
Yeah, which I'm not going to play the snippet of the song, but that's where it comes from. And the best thing, because as with everything for this generation of damn kids, their slang doesn't mean anything. It's just 6-7. It literally doesn't mean anything. But in some cities, like here in Southern California, some schools embrace it.
57th day of school here at Chaparral Elementary School, and these kiddos are all pumped up because of...
Why?
Many other students and even...
By the way, you'll notice that the volume is lower. It's because the kids are so fucking loud in this clip. I had to turn it down for everything.
Teachers sporting shirts blazing with 6-7. All of the schools in the Claremont Unified School District.
Oh, I thought that was our waist size.
In math class at Chaparral Elementary, all the equations adding up to 67, or as the students say, 6-7. Ask them a question, and there's only one answer. How's school today?
6-7.
During the lunch hour, students playing all sorts of games which center on 6-7. The term 6-7 became a popular saying among kids nationwide.
Yes. So obviously this is delightful. And this is why I want to make sure to focus on and embrace this time of the year, because this is going to be the 1 year that 6-7's happening. You're going to see in this next clip, this is probably the most fun anyone's ever had at a women's college basketball game. You'll note the score is 65, and it's time for free throws.
So Gold will head to the line. Makes her first. The kids really want this next basket, Jonathan. Oh, I understand. Understand. And makes the second. And there you go.
Yeah.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
That's like me when I saw Aerosmith play Chip Away the Stone. I so for different demographics, you have different reactions to different things. But very exciting. Imagine though if the basketball player just wanted to be a dick and intentionally missed and left it at 66. Boy, the fun that would have been.
Yeah, well, first of all, that's more points that is scored in a WNBA game on any given night. So that's impressive.
Did you notice that the other team seems to have missed an extra point? They only have 13.
I mean, that's really just, shove it. Not only just like shoving in their face that they beat them by 45 points or so. Math wasn't my strong suit, but you know the idea. And that she had to make that last free throw. I mean, that was kind of nasty, I'll be honest. But I will say, with students failing all over the country, if this stupid 6-7 thing will get kids to do math again, I'm all for it.
Well, you know what? Let's go back to that story from a moment ago, because on this day where you celebrate 6-7, the 67th day of school, it's actually very easy to do well on your math tests because all of the answers on their math tests were 67.
Videos where numbers or phrases catch on as catchy.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, there you go.
I like how she pretended she was like trying to figure it out.
Like, carry the I don't carry anything 6.
No, I don't. 4 plus 3. Okay, I got this.
Well, I guess it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a funny joke to do.
By the way, how many packs of cigarettes is this 9-year-old taking in that her voice sounds like that?
Yes, and also it's not a funny joke. There's nothing funny about it. When we were kids, we had 69. That was funny.
Well,
something.
That's kind of my point about the whole thing is they're spending all this time and effort into 67 when they're only 2 away from the funniest number in human history.
69, dudes!
I mean, at some point they're going to be like, they're going to realize in a few years, we were this close.
Yeah. This generation, they're so close and they don't realize it. And 69 is still hilarious. I mean, we still make 69 jokes. Farts are still funny, and 69 jokes are still funny, especially a man in his 50s, because that's a position I haven't done in about 15 years. Because I don't want to hurt anybody with my saggy balls, so I refrain from that. I mean, maybe we do it on the side once in a while, but not the on top type of 69. But anytime someone says the number 69, it's hilarious to anybody over 40. 6-7 means nothing. But like I said, if it gets the kids doing math, as long as it adds up to 67, they're going to be okay.
Yeah. As recently as a couple years ago, if you wanted a cameo from the great Chip Chipperson, it was $69. And then Chip's friend Jim Norton realized he had to charge $70 because he couldn't charge less than Chip. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Even In-N-Out Burger has gotten in the past on the 6-7 fund. They're calling out order numbers in these clips. So all these kids are waiting. They're at 66.
6-7. Yes, number 6-7.
I mean, I don't, look, I get it. It's like you get excited. It's probably just because my kids will say it. And I'm just like, all right, well, at least, my son's 10. I'm like, at least he's not making 69 jokes. That's actually the way I look at it. But In-N-Out Burger, though, started kind of to turn away from the 6-7 trend. So there's been a lot of backlash, Dawn.
Being in and out of favor.
I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and play that comment one more time because it's not her fault, but somebody put it in the teleprompter.
Talk about being in and out of favor. The fast food chain has kicked 67 out of its order system.
According to People magazine, what happened was they removed the number from its order tickets because of the viral 6-7 trend. That. The company says, well, here's what's happened. Teens would wait around just to hear 67 called, and then they jump into unruly 6-7 celebrations, pretty much ruining it for everyone in the restaurant.
I don't know. Everybody looked like they were having fun, including the people who worked there, you know?
Yeah, but there was 3 people in there actually spending money and 900 people just waiting to hear
Okay.
6-7.
You know what? That's a great point, Tom. That's yeah. And odds are I would be there and I would be number 70. So like I couldn't even have the joy of being number 69. I would just be sitting there like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess all bad things must come to an end. And
Well, you and I have to start. We're going to have to start the trend of showing up and cheering when they do a 69.
And
As
then we-
part of the older generation,
Yeah.
we're gonna get a group together and we're gonna celebrate 69. We're bringing it back, baby.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we can always have the appropriate reaction when we hear our favorite number.
69, dudes!
The Today Show did talk about the decline of 6-7.
Saying the word 6-7 anymore. If you do, you have to write a 67-word essay.
Some schools even banning the phrase in classrooms.
You are no longer allowed to say, what number do you think I'm going to say?
6-7. Caitlin Soriano is a 7th grade math teacher.
How much are you hearing and seeing 6-7 in your classroom?
By the way, can you tell me for sure that these aren't the same 2 people, just with a slightly different filter? She's just interviewing herself, right?
Yeah, this is on the left is the AI version of the girl on the right.
Yeah, right, exactly. By the way, if I were a single man, I have no problem with either one.
All day, every day. It is nonstop throughout my class, the hallways, the cafeterias.
She says she banned the term last year after it became distracting for students. But now she and other teachers are leaning in.
And we hope that if it is embarrassing enough for the adults to be doing it, that maybe they stop.
Now that's smart. That's why I wanted to show that clip, because they're like, all right, yeah, we'll just do it. We'll just use your slang. And that'll probably kill it pretty quickly. Don't you think, Don?
Very quickly. And I listen, I try to keep up on all the modern slang,
Of course.
like, word to your mother and, too legit to quit. I mean, I keep up with the current stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we gave a sneak peek of this last week. Here is the indication of the final death knell for 6-7.
Oh,
no diggity. Joe Buck along with the Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. They come in with a record of 6-7. 6-7.
And that's the end of it. When Joe Buck catches onto your trend and makes Troy Aikman laugh, well, it's all over, isn't it?
That is the final death blow.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look and see. Okay, so our 6-7 coverage garnered 0 super chats, but that's all right. We're having fun. Yeah.
You would have thought it would have garnered 67 super chats.
Yeah. But by the way, Hellraiser 69, of course, knows. By the way, the 1-2 shouldn't be there. I don't know. YouTube did something where they reset everybody's names. But Hellraiser 69, he understands how funny it is. I mean, it's his screen name. So obviously he knows that. All right. So we have so much Kissmas stuff to get to. And our buddy Craig Gass is, well, I guess you need to say scheduled to join us soon, because, you never know. That's how these things always go. But we'll start off by talking about the great band Kiss. The last time you were on, we were talking about the untimely passing of Ace Frehley, and he'd really gotten a new lease on life. And
why would there have been a good time for him to pass? Why do people say that untimely?
Well,
when's a good time for somebody to die?
I think, okay, well, literally probably after the Kennedy Center honors, because he was really looking forward to it.
I agree.
And instead, we have the 3 members of Kiss, and I don't know if that's Ted McGinley back there behind Peter. I'm not quite sure who's up there. But, I guess, he's the spaceman now, Ted McGinley. I mean, why not? You bring him into everything. So I'm looking forward to seeing this. It'll be airing on CBS next week. It happened a few weeks ago at what was then known as the Kennedy Center, but now the Trump Kennedy Center. Our I don't know how well you know them, but we're both fans of Cheap Trick, and they had to issue a post about like, well, we performed at this because we're friends with Kiss. Can you leave the politics out of it? And the answer for most people is no. So, if they're tweeting at real Don Jamieson, sure, they can just talk about the music. But if they're typing in at real Donald Trump, they might be looking for the otherwise. So, obviously, so it's a bittersweet thing. And, if you want to complain about this being for Trump, there are a lot of presidents that could have done a Kennedy Center honors all the way back to Gerald Ford. So there were a lot of opportunities to do a Kennedy Center honors for Kiss, right, Don?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I would have loved to see Bill Clinton do it. I mean, he would have had Monica giving them all Hummers,
Yeah, that's true.
You'd see Gene with a big cigar in his mouth, and you go, "Yeah, I get it."
Yeah, and part of this, we will bring in our buddy Craig Gass right now. Craig,
that's my edgy Clinton material.
That was good. Yeah. And by the way, we mentioned this earlier, but Craig Gass, you're on social media at Craig Gass Comedy. Your website is getgass.com.
Yes.
A bunch of dates coming up in 2026, so people will find those there. We were talking about Kiss performing at the Kennedy Center Honors. That'll be on TV next week.
Well, they didn't perform, right?
Right. I'm sorry. They were honored, and Cheap Trick performed and some other bands. There was this quote from Gene that Don, I know you commented on when it happened. He was talking about Ace Frehley's death was due to bad decisions. He refused advice from people that cared about him, including yours truly, to try and change his lifestyle. In and out of bad decisions, falling down the stairs, I'm not a doctor, doesn't kill you. There may have been other issues, and it breaks my heart. Before we even comment on it, even Gene realized, oh, no, that's actually not the response. But, he would rather people see this than his actual response, which is this one right here. He used words. He used the wrong words. He humbly apologized, didn't intend to hurt Ace's legacy. So is it all well and good for you, Don?
I can answer that without saying a word.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. All right. We gotta show this now. I didn't even, were you wearing them, or those aren't for wearing? Those are for stocking, right? You show those off. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And he put an X on Gene's side of the face.
No.
That's, wow. Craig, that is a hot take. But
I'm sorry for the people who are listening to this on audio, but
yeah, it's a great point. I was so in awe. I forgot to mention that the shoe had Ace Frehley on one side, Gene Simmons on the other, and X'd out. Don, would you be Craig? Would you be able to give us your interpretation of what Gene Simmons is saying in this post right here?
Well, it's weird. Gene's got a history of shitting on people who had drug problems.
Sure.
And God, I remember, this is such a weird story, but years and years ago when Prince died, Gene put out a tweet that was something to the effect of just kind of summarizing his whole life as just drug addict. And I can't remember the exact words, but Paul Stanley, I don't know if you remember this, Don. Paul Stanley put out a statement saying Gene doesn't speak for all of us. And then Gene's wife, Shannon, starts tweeting at Paul, essentially saying, hey, fuck you. Paul starts replying to Shannon publicly by saying, I know him a lot better than you do, and I've known him longer than you have. And I'm like, what does that mean? And then it becomes a thing. Within a week of that happening, a friend of mine had a birthday party at the bowling alley on Ventura between Coldwater Canyon and Laurel Canyon. It's I think that's where they have the Ronnie James Dio.
The Pins Bowling Alley.
Pins Bowling Alley. So I'm there at that bowling alley with a friend, with the friend who's having the birthday party and all their friends, when someone says, hey, I think that's Gene Simmons. And I looked over and Gene, with his entire family, was at the bowling alley. And I thought it would be cute to sneak up behind him and just say, I'm sorry, I just wanted to tell you, you do the best Gene Simmons impression I've ever heard. And he turned around and we had a playful exchange. And then I said, how you been, buddy? And he goes, well, I've learned that I need to keep my fucking mouth shut. And I went, what? Oh. And I was like, I totally forgot that had just happened a few days earlier. And he was clearly still stinging from the fallout that came from that. So it was surprising to me that in Ace's death, at this moment, that Ace was the most vocal guy of all four of those guys of wanting to be a part of this Kennedy Center thing. Because regardless of how you feel about Trump, Ace was clearly a Trump fan. So for him, it was very personal. And then in that shining light of that moment, Gene said he died because of his choices in life, and then said, I mean, come on, I'm not a medical examiner, but he died from falling. Have you ever known anybody who's died from falling? And I was like, what the fuck? Millions of people die from falling, especially old people, you know? Yeah. And I had a friend that I grew up with who became a nurse, and in her 30s, she had this bizarre moment happen where she got lightheaded at home in her bathroom and fell and hit her head on the corner of the sink, died. People die all the time from falling.
Yeah, and Ace was, look, Ace, you know, everyone said now because we live longer because of, you know, technology and science and medical advances. But Ace was 74, but that's a rock star 74.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's 149 human years. So, you know, yeah, falling down the steps can kill you. And listen, Eddie Trunk had an epic rant about it.
Did.
And he pointed out, he goes, oh, you know, that's funny, Gene. You know, people don't die from falling, but you were dehydrated and you crashed your car, just ran right off the road and crashed your car. That doesn't kill anybody, does it? I mean, you know, maybe what was going on with you? Maybe you had some substances in you or something. It's like, you know what I mean? It's so offensive that he said that. And yeah, and I couldn't help, you know, I keep my social media positive, but I had to say something, man. That was, you know, I mean, he's the Trump of rock stars. You know, he has no ability to just be gracious and humble about anything. And it's sad, man. It's sad. It's a guy who claimed, you know, within this last year in an interview, he has no friends. Well, there's a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a bummer I mean, I know what Gene's stance is on drugs, and to some extent I admire it, you know, and as I'm talking as a guy who's been a drug addict and has been in recovery, I actually admire the fact that he never fell for that. He clearly became a massive sex addict. There's no question about that, that he was a sex addict on a level that was, you know, in the, you know, to the point of like, it was an issue. And I admire the fact that he never went down that road of drugs or alcohol, but to say that no one ever dies from falling, and it really was just because of how he lived his life. And Ace was proudly sober for the last, I think, 15 years of his life. So it just felt unnecessary. And I'm going to be honest. In my heart, I don't think, honest to God, that Gene meant any malice by it when he said it. I really think Gene came off as being on autopilot when he was doing those interviews. That's my opinion. I don't think he was trying to disparage him. I think he genuinely loved Ace and seemed to be one of the two original members who would make inroads to Ace. So I believe he was just kind of talking without thinking about what his words were going to be taken as.
Yeah, and Trump loved Rob Reiner.
Right. All right. You know what? Fair enough. And I mean, obviously a different tone of words there, but yeah, and you know what? You may be right. You may be right, Don. But the way I took it when I first read it was like, oh man, you're not even thinking about what you're saying here. But
Yeah.
and maybe he was trying to disparage him. But God, on a stage like that, it just felt like, man, what are you doing?
But I know what, Craig. I agree because that they've been doing this rap for so long now. I could see how after the 15th interview he kind of just goes into autopilot. But this guy, but you have to be a human being. You have to have human feelings and know the minute you start launching into it, hey, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
True. And he doesn't have that ability to do that. And that's sad. Again, this guy, like he has literally no friends because every friend probably comes with some kind of agenda. There's a business agenda, there's a money agenda somehow. And he doesn't have a dude he could just sit back and have not a beer with, but a Coca-Cola with, and just say, hey, how you doing, Gene?
Yeah.
Right.
And just have a normal conversation.
No, you're right about that. When you are famous, especially on that level of fame, everyone comes to you needing something, even your closest friends. Howard Stern is always complaining about how everyone that he knows who puts out a book has to come to him for, hey, do you mind I never asked you for anything, but can you do a forward? There's still some kind of transactional aspect of those friendships. And I have heard from people who are close to Gene, who work with Gene, that he doesn't have anybody he can relate to. There's no one that's in his inner circle of friends that can relate to his world. So he is very much without real friendships, I think, in many aspects.
Well, I wanted to make sure that we commented on all that, but Craig, I know you have limited time, so I did want to pivot to something that was posted in our Discord by, again, Hot Gilf 69. This was an episode of the Geraldo show from 1988. Gene and Paul were on with Willie Nelson, and in the first clip, Paul comes prepared with a gag ready to go. They're talking about a topic we've all heard many times, all the 3,000 women that Gene Simmons been with and taking pictures of.
Okay.
People are really glorify what it's like to be on the road, and you get all these pictures, and Gene takes all these photos of women, and he didn't want me to do this, but I brought one along anyway.
For our audio audience, it's a picture of a dog. Thank you, Don, for making me realize that some people are just listening.
And I'm signing as we're doing this for the hearing.
This could be an eloquent truth in this. Not only that, but she had a sister.
So now there's two dogs. Wait, hold on.
Since I know that girl. You know her.
Willie with the rib kick in of I know that girl.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So look, they're having fun, but Gene's like, oh well, I've come prepared with a prop as well, but it doesn't always go as smoothly for Gene.
Putting on our makeup, and our makeup man handed us something that I'm going to bring out in a second. And he was doing a photo session for a magazine called Modern Bride, and one of the brides wanted something signed, so we did. And
so it's a jock strap that he's showing up, and it's probably going over with our internet audience the way it did for Geraldo's studio audience.
You don't know what this is? All right. But honest, it's not it's just one of those things. And the other thing I'd like to talk to you about is this. So
Gene's put on a mustache.
Did Carrot Top, was he the segment producer on this? I seen this for Pops in his set.
Well, wait, Don, there's more. Paul has a mustache, but he's like, clearly this was Gene's idea, because he's like, all right, I'm taking it off, because he's like, I look bad enough in 1988 that I don't need that mustache. But so look,
this is when they were actually still funny and charming.
Oh yeah.
And at some point, both of these guys just lost their sense of humor completely.
Yeah.
Kind of like Stern. Like Stern he lost his instinct somewhere along the way. And I don't care about the he went woke or any of this stuff. Like he just, to me, this is my opinion, he lost his instinct for really great comedy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He just, when he goes for a joke, he misses. He swings and misses more times than he hits. And back then, Gene and Paul were actually like loose and funny and charming. And there's some point where they both just completely lost it. And they just took themselves way too seriously. And then their attempts at humor it's just been, they're like, for the last 25 years.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
And I should know because I am too. So.
Yeah, and
the comedy club owner.
You're reminding me of a past installment where we had Howard interviewed Gene and Paul in studio, and all three of them were obviously very different guys in 1992. In a lot of ways, you should be different guys, but I certainly understand what you're saying. This was obviously for a daytime TV audience. So we've all heard about, we just mentioned a minute ago, all the pictures Gene took of the 3,000 women. But I have this clip because I want you guys to share your thoughts on the crowd shots as Gene describes these photos.
Photography seemed like a good outlet.
But I mean, you didn't pose these women in their gowns.
Anywhere.
I mean, these are nude photographs of the women that you've had.
Yeah, but I'd like to think they're in good taste. They are swinging from flagpoles in hotels. They are out in hallways with signs in front of them, running, doing everything, carrying "We Love."
So her in particular, she's my favorite. she's like, I've never heard anything like this. Is the wildest shit I've ever heard.
She's like, the Price is Right audience was full, so I came over to Geraldo.
By the way, Don, I think we talked about Garrett Morris earlier, and
Nelson signs up and down. Anything you can imagine, but obviously, this is just good times, stuff to keep yourself occupied until the next 300-mile trip.
All right. So, this is all very familiar territory, but, Geraldo is covering this, well, like it's Al Capone's vault. Like he's, kicking it's a very topical reference. I know everybody gets that. But Gene pushes back, and this is kind of fun.
Frankly, when anybody else was talking about getting high or drugs, I just thought more sex.
But isn't that an addiction of sorts? I don't want to get too philosophical.
We've heard stories about the Geraldo libido here. I mean, all the girls.
See, that look on his face is like, hey, wait a minute. This is my show.
Yeah.
And I didn't think you knew those stories.
Those out there aren't waiting for us.
I haven't written my book yet. No, I'm, as you know, very settled now.
Yeah, I know. I use the same line myself. Ladies, I'm reformed, ladies. I'm looking for a relationship. Yeah, I know that line.
I think you...
So
wow.
Yeah, I know. And I'd never seen this. I don't know if you guys had.
Me neither. I'm fascinated by it. And it's like, it's one of the gifts that Howard has always had is he's always known that guys want other guys to know they're getting laid. It is this weakness that men have, and they don't realize how horrifying it is and Paul and Gene, I don't know what year this is, but there was a
1988.
88. Okay, so this is full swing.
Yeah.
When rock music was at its sluttiest. Yeah. And even then, the overwhelming majority of women were disgusted by men who were promiscuous. But there was a handful of women who were like, oh man, it's fun. It's, like got boys being boys, whatever. And there was a percentage of women out there that would actually financially support their the musicians they were hooking up with. I was going to say boyfriends, but they weren't boyfriends.
Yeah,
musicians they were hooking up with. But my God, it's like that you have no idea how poorly that's going over. But you have a enough of a percentage of men that are like, really? You hooked up? Like, oh man, I hooked up with everybody. Yeah. Oh my God. And it's crazy. I've never seen that clip, but I think about that guy who was on that 70s show. I can't remember what his name was. He was the handsome guy on that 70s show.
They were all pretty handsome to me, Craig, but
they were all equally dreamy to me.
Yeah. And he came on the show and talked about all the women he had hooked, and had amazing stories about taking.
Oh, is
Britney
that?
Spears.
That the guy who played Fez. I can't even think of that actor's name.
He took Britney Spears' virginity, hooked up with Christina Aguilera, and he got murdered and hasn't done anything since that was significant.
But Craig, think of all the high fives he's gotten from guys, after that interview.
I mean, and there's a percentage of guys that will absolutely high five you. Me and Don are two of them.
It's like the dice joke.
Yeah.
Chicks are like, if you go out and fuck 1,000 chicks, you're a stud. If I do that, I'm a whore. Right.
By the way, to illustrate the time period you're talking about, Craig, Kiss put out 2 new songs in the year 1988 from the great album Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. You Make Me, parentheses, Rock Hard. And yes, Don, let's put the X in sex. Craig, before you can let me know when you have to go, but I definitely want to make sure we get to this one. Craig, were you aware that there were Kiss condoms? Have you ever heard Gene talk about that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he might mention it once in a while.
He's got one in his wallet with dust on it.
Yes.
This might actually be where the birth of the Kiss condom comes from, and I'll let you guys give me your thoughts.
To wear a raincoat, and that's what you can do.
Is that a veiled reference to condoms?
Yes, I think it's obvious. I mean, it's no joke. So you've got to wear condoms, and that's all there is to it.
Wait, I was thinking maybe you could have like designer Kiss condoms.
We already tried. We were going to call our last album Condemnation, but it didn't.
So do you think Geraldo's entitled to a cut of all the sales of Kiss condoms since 1988?
Yeah, I mean, there's been times when I've made jokes in front of Gene, as Gene, coming up with a new Kiss product, and I'll say it as a goof, and Gene will look at me and go, we could do that. Like he'll it's like I'm giving him ideas for stuff to sell. So, but God, that's hilarious.
Geraldo's like, you should do a Kiss condom. He's like, yes, we should.
And look at Paul's face. It's equally like stone face because the joke was horrible.
Yeah.
But also, okay, we're having a meeting about Kiss condoms tomorrow.
Yeah.
Also, Willie Nelson's like, what the hell's a condom?
Yeah.
Willie probably got more pussy than both those guys combined.
Yeah.
Those country guys are sneaky, man. They really are.
The first 12 minutes, Geraldo talks to Willie. He just had a book out, and Gene and Paul just sit there, and he talks about all the wives that he had, and he's definitely kind of telling definitely some tales out of school. Here's a little bit from Willie.
I want to get to Paul and Gene, but is it true, as your second wife alleges, that when your women get to be 40 years old, you trade them in?
No, that's not true.
35. Which he missed. But Craig, this totally goes to what your theory before, which you're so spot on. Like even Willie Nelson, who's not known as a pussy hound, had to put out a book where he brags about getting pussy.
Yeah.
It's this weird weakness that men have, and it's if you're lucky enough to be able to have sex with women and have a good batting average for that, I think there's just this bizarre mentality that, like, man, the world needs to know how lucky I've been. The world needs to know, and it's such a weakness that men have. And again, Howard has always jumped on that and kind of pushed for people to essentially hang themselves in their personal life because it causes massive amounts of damage to say those things out loud. And but it's compelling to hear. It's compelling to hear about someone's personal life on such a deeply personal level. And
well, good, because I made a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time we have, but
no, Don, you can tell us about both girls you've slept with. Go ahead. It's fine. We got it. Craig, I definitely, you've latched on to so many of the things that Gene leans on, some of the go-tos, including the Kiss condoms. This moment in 1988, he was workshopping one that I've never heard him say before, and It doesn't really go over, and I'll certainly be able to let you go after this, but I want you to hear one that, he's like, oh, this one's going to kill.
You're having difficulty with women prior to the guitar.
No, I did okay. It's just somehow when you wipe honey on yourself, there's just more bees that just... It's more appealing. I mean, I like to joke around with it. And
He didn't even wait. He's just like, when you cover yourself in honey, you get more bees. Anyway, so Geraldo.
Anybody celebrating anything here tonight?
I got exactly what Don was saying there. And what is the reference? I don't understand the analogy when he's saying cover yourself in bees or covering yourself in honey gets more bees.
Well, he's saying basically being a rock star is like covering yourself in honey because it attracts the bees so easily.
Right.
But that's not. I mean, getting stung by bees and it just doesn't work. And as comedically astute as Geraldo's audiences usually are, they did not get it at all. So there you go. If Geraldo's audience doesn't get it, nobody will.
And we got to understand, we're looking at a guy who has had everything for decades at this point, over 10, 15 years of mega fame by the time we see him on TV. And everyone laughs and is fascinated by these stories that he has about the women that he's hooked up with, the thousands of women that he's hooked up with. So he doesn't realize that when you broadcast it out to an audience that's not knowledgeable about your music at all, that you're going to get a different kind of reaction to that. But he was, it's like Tom Cruise being super famous for decades and then showing up on the Oprah Winfrey show where he talks about how in love he is, that he jumps up on a couch and just starts dancing like crazy. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? The guy has been untouchable for decades. He's been living in a bubble. David Lee Roth, same thing. Like, hey boys, get like
Hamala Babel is evil bubble, Hamala Zabel Babel Bop. Yeah, you said it, Dave.
One of my favorite.
That's interesting that you put both those guys in the same category. But anyway.
One of my favorite videos is David Lee Roth being told by one of the guys in his camera crew. He's walking around with a production crew at a hotel in Las Vegas. He's going to do a DJ spot in Las Vegas. And one of the camera guys goes, "Oh my God, dude, the guys across the hall are blasting Van Halen. Let's go knock on the door and blow their mind." And David Lee Roth, who without question, I think Don would agree with me, was one of the greatest rock stars of our childhood. An untouchable, cool guy. He still looks great, but he doesn't look like Diamond Dave that we grew up with. And he knocks on the door, and these kids answer the door, and they go, "Hey," and he goes, "Hey, I just heard you guys playing Van Halen, and I just wanted to say hello." And they go, "All right, man, cool. Yeah, we'll keep it down, bro. Sorry, brother." And he's like, "No," and he's getting embarrassed on camera, and he goes, "No, I wanted to tell you that you're listening to Van." And they go, "Yeah, man." And then another guy opens like behind. He goes, "Oh shit, dude, are we being too loud, bro? Hey, no worries, man. We'll keep it down." And David Lee Roth finally goes, "No, you guys are playing Van Halen." And he looks in the camera and goes, "And I am Van Halen." And they still nothing. Like, oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But he's been living in a bubble where people in his world are like, "You're the greatest thing that's ever happened in the world," Yeah,
well,
that's it.
If you're going to mention it, Craig, we're going to watch it.
Right here?
Yes.
Well, he thinks he's like a fancy security guard with the microphone.
Meanwhile, he looks more like Rodney Dangerfield in Caddyshack than he does look like the guy riding the inflatable microphone.
But I do want to point out, he does look great. He's in great physical
shape. No, he looks great. He just doesn't look like Dave. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this is the moment he knocks on the door. He's got the microphone. He's so ready to go.
Yeah.
We heard some Van Halen here, and my name's David Lee Roth, and I'm right across the hallway. Want to know, we're on our way to EDC, but the fellas here were coming down the hallway, and they said, "Shit, we heard some Van Halen."
Look at the guy in the back saying, "Turn it down, turn it down."
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Grandpa. No. Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
EDC, we're doing shit. And we heard one of the fellas said, I heard some Van Halen shit through the doorway. So I am Van Halen.
We'll be here still.
Outstanding. Fellas, my pleasure. Have a great night. Enjoy the Vegas stay. Small, tiny world.
Do you think,
and dude, you got to follow him down the hall because that did not go well. Follow him down the hall.
No, don't.
He doesn't realize the camera's still on him.
That was brilliant. They got a big kick out of that. We're still laughing. They got a big kick out of that.
Great. They're just like, what just happened?
Well, they're back up.
It's so fucking funny, right? Do that something.
Hey, if it's too loud, I'll make sure it's
Not to worry at all.
Thank you guys.
Of course.
Oh, now I know why you wanted me to keep playing it, Craig.
Yeah.
Jack follows him all the way down the hall.
Don't worry about noise, smoke, off-color humor.
Yes, so thank y'all.
Followed him all the way down the hall to say, sorry, we'll keep it down.
Yeah. They're like, oh, man, that guy, we don't want him going to the front desk. Because, maybe a couple of these girls shouldn't be in here. Maybe there's some stuff spread out on the table that shouldn't be here.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I plug my comedy special?
Yeah, absolutely, Craig.
I have a special. It's out right now on YouTube called No Sleep Till McSorley's. And it's available right now. It's kind of, I hope you don't think this is cheesy, but Garth Brooks did a thing where he did an alter ego.
Yeah.
Chris Gaines.
Yeah.
I have an alter ego that I called Don Jamieson. And I put out material that I was like, this material should just stand on its own. And it's called No Sleep Till McSorley's under the name Don Jamieson. And it's available right now on YouTube. Go check it out. I'm really proud of it. And I think you guys will dig the jokes.
Well, and Don, under your pseudonym of Craig Gass, don't you have an upcoming special of Just Kiss material some point in the near future?
I do, and I'm happy. Look, Craig and I worked out a licensing deal. That's the one thing we learned from Gene is how to license our identities to one another. And unlike Eddie Trunk, I don't mind Craig wearing the Don Jamieson makeup.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing.
Here's the weird thing.
Everyone who impersonates me is doing much better than the actual Don Jamieson is. So I'm just happy for everyone.
I was looking at final edits because the Kiss thing is coming out in a few weeks. Don appears in it as himself, and then this is his commitment. He puts on weight to be me, and then I'm not talking about a little bit of weight. I'm talking about this guy put on some fucking weight to finish out the show doing Kiss jokes as me. So, it was one of those things when I saw the final product, I was like, is that really Don? They were like, that's fucking Don. I was like, he's so fat. And they were like, that's fucking, he's wearing a Seahawks hat. He got
the commitment. Yeah.
So fat. I'm not saying that disrespectfully because look at him. He looks great now. He's taken all the weight off, but he really got fat.
He's method.
Play the role of me. And I just admire it. I admire his ability to go that far out, come all the way back and get in shape and again, look younger than his age already again. So, because again, I'm not saying this to be offensive. When you did it as me, you look like you are about to suffer a severe medical crisis and possible stroke, just too much sugar,
And listen, I like Christian said, I'm method all the way. I spent a month. I had everybody address me as Craig Gass. In fact, with sex with my girlfriend, she had to cry out, "Oh my God, you're so big, Craig Gass comedy."
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She did ask you to getgas.com, I believe.
Getgas.com for all the dates, man.
By the way, Labyrinth Mystic has the theory. Did they hear the music? Did they also hear the lyrics? Sorry. Was there a chance they were just listening to a Van Halen parody? I'm not going to lie. I didn't consider that for even a second, Labyrinth Mystic. But, and Beef Drippins, I saw Craig Gass like 15 years ago at Caroline's, and it was amazing. I think it's time to, break the drought, Beef Drippins. Go to getgas.com. There's dates all over the country coming up. A whole bunch in Las Vegas and you'll even be in Anaheim. I saw you're doing a very good tour, Craig. So people have a chance.
The week of the NAMM show, yeah, I'm doing shows with Chris Kale, my podcasting partner. We're doing some big shows in Anaheim, Green Bay. There's more dates coming up soon around the country. But yeah, everything's at getgas.com. And No Sleep Till McSorley's live on YouTube. And it's a great comedy special.
Beef Drippings feels like Don Thixon is actually the name that you should use then. And,
when you see this comedy special, seriously, you're gonna, when you see, because it's Don himself and then Don after the preparation, like he goes from skinny, healthy Don to what the fuck happened to Don, and then back to skinny Don. It's fucking crazy. He shaved his head. Like it's one of the craziest fucking things you'll ever see. So it'll be under the name Craig Gass Kiss Comedy Special. And but man, I mean, just if there's an award season, Don needs to win everything.
Yeah, well, I know that there's apparently a podcast award available at the Golden Globes, so I think it's time to get Comedy Special for playing 2 roles.
Agreed.
Yes, we really appreciate you taking the time. You're very generous with the time. And
this would be the year. This would be the year that I would win an Oscar when they moved it to YouTube.
Yeah. Well, give it a couple.
And a video with a cat playing with a ball of twine is getting more views.
I love hanging out and spending time with you, man. Thank you for having me, man. I'm sorry I have to run, but
No, we appreciate it. And look, the last time the 3 of us were together, unfortunately, Ozzy passed. Everybody lived through this appearance, so I feel like 2026 is looking up. Thanks again, Craig. Yeah, that we know of. The chat will let us know. Anyway, thanks again, Craig. We will talk to you soon.
Let's do some shows next year, Craig.
Yeah, and we did get a super chat. Labyrinth Mystic, this is a quote: "If any key can fit in the lock, it's a shitty lock. But if a key can open many holes, it's a master key." Is this what we have instead of Point Double Point today? Point Double Point is on Mondays. I think you're thinking of This Little Piggy, which will be on at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific over on the Nobody Likes Onions channel, which was referenced earlier. Craig told me he had 15, 20 minutes. I felt like that really meant 40, he's a comedian.
It's a Craig Gass 20.
He doesn't see the light in the back of the room. He has no idea that the time was to go. I wanted to get to a couple more quick things in this Geraldo interview, because Craig was talking about, this is for a very different audience than they're used to, slinging their usual stuff for. But also, I didn't clip all of them, but a lot of these questions made me realize some of those questions during daytime talk shows, Don, they might have been setups. They might have been written by people on the show.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, maybe. We'll get to one of those in a moment. But, here, take a look at this one.
None of these guys are really very good looking. I just want to know what method do they use to get women? He said it. I didn't say it.
So that's like, okay, yeah. We somebody whispered in my ear, and we handed a guy a blue card that had this question on it.
Yeah, it's like Howard Stern. I don't know how this call came up. That wasn't me.
Robin, what does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Yeah. But Gene tries to laugh it off.
My suggestion.
Now that he mentioned it,
I would only worry if I was attractive to him.
That did not. That did not help some of Paul's the rumors from those days. But Gene,
who wouldn't be attracted to a young Bill Burr?
Or as I call him, Billy Burr.
As you call him, Billy Burr, because you are an industry insider.
I am definitely an insider
and close confidant.
Adam Bush and I saw him last night in Cerritos, and expect a report soon. But Gene really is just sitting there biding his time. You can kind of see, I know it's a blurry standard def video, but the topic changes, but Gene comes back to that guy.
I think you're right. I don't think you have to be the best looking guy in the world, as obviously you are. Come on, let's stand up.
Okay. So Gene does the old, he puts his hand over the ginger's head. He gets a little bit of applause, and then he puts it over his own head. Go figure. bigger round of applause for Gene. But I think that was Jaleel White in the front row, or maybe I guess it would have to have been his dad at this time period. But I didn't realize
Jaleel Senior.
Yeah, I didn't realize that there was an Urkel cam. But if you need an example of what must have been a fake question designed to get a certain reaction, we'll go to this guy who may have never seen the movie he's referencing.
I seen y'all movie a while back, Kids vs. the Phantom. It was a good movie, wasn't it?
So before we even get to their answers, we have a little game we play on this show.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters. We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
I think it's an important question, Don. Do you think that this guy has seen Kiss Meets the Phantom even in the 37 years since this video was posted?
I got to be honest. He definitely has. A lot of people probably don't recognize him, but he was the one that played Black Ace in the movie.
You know what? I didn't recognize him at first, but now that you say it, yeah, he has most of Ace's dialogue in the film.
Yes, exactly. which they should have done that for the Kennedy Center honors. Had the Black Ace from Kiss Meets the Phantom stand in for Ace.
Why did they spend so much money on Tommy Thayer? They just could have gotten Black Ace. I mean, you know.
I'm just wondering, do y'all plan on making any more movies in the future?
We were banned after that film.
All right. So, look, they had some fun. They joked around with everybody.
They're very mean-spirited, but
you, Craig, and myself and most Kiss fans, we never need to see Gene Simmons stick out his tongue again. But the reason why I have this clip is the way that he pretends that he doesn't like to show off his tongue.
Right.
People, they say, stick out your tongue. Let's see how long it is. So, it's a dumb thing to be known for, but I mean, I've written some good songs. I can sing okay. Stick out your tongue. Every time I meet somebody, hey, man, Eugene Simmons, hey, let me see your tongue. All together.
By the way, that sounded like Craig's impression of him, the voice that he just did right there.
Tongue. All together. 1, 2, 3.
No, I don't want to show you my tongue, Geraldo.
Not going to happen.
All right, make room.
It's a good line.
3, 2.
No, the floor is dirty. I can't.
Another good line.
Yep.
All right, come in for a close-up.
See, I stand by what I said before. They were funny and charming back then in 88. And at some point, I don't know when it was, although it predated that with the Tom Snyder show that we documented. Probably right around there.
Is it this era, Hot in the Shade?
Probably, yeah.
Because this is right here. Look, I've got all the great cassettes here at my desk. What? Not your favorite? Crazy Nights? I think that they were fun. They were still selling records at this point. The necessity of the reunion wasn't happening. So that's why when we celebrate Kissmas, we like to, dive into past eras. And there's always so much more we can do with Kiss. But I figure before we wind down the show, here's a fun bonus clip from Willie Nelson talking about something that we all kind of know a little bit more about him than we did in 1988. I'm going to play the clip first.
You seem a guy that, while making all kinds of money, really didn't give a damn about money. You cared about having a good time, being with your pals. You spent it as fast as you would earn it. Is that accurate?
Oh, I'm still doing that, yeah, faster. I'm still doing that. I still believe money is to be enjoyed, and you can't keep it. You have to keep it circulating, I think.
But what you definitely can't do with it, Don, is give it to the IRS, because that's the last thing that you're going to want to do. Him and Wesley Snipes will both, him and Wesley Snipes will both tell you, like, no. There's nobody who needs it as much as I need it.
Yes, it was shortly after that the IRS decided, hey, Suzanne, get me the Nelson file, please.
Library Mystic saying that I should digitize these before they get demagnetized. I do have a car with a tape deck in it. Jealous?
Those two albums sound better demagnetized.
Yeah, you're probably right. So in any case, we okay, sorry. Red Letter Media reviewed Kiss Meets the Phantom. It was the worst of the 3 they watched that night. I want to know what other movies you watched that were even in the running. I mean, is there any one redeeming quality about Kiss Meets the Phantom? I mean, Black Ace probably, but I know our buddy Brian Slagle of Metal Blade Records, he went to Magic Mountain where they filmed it. That was probably fun, because they like actually played some songs,
The only redeeming thing from it, and I'll still do it once in a while when I'm listening to Kiss, and I've been listening to a lot of Kiss recently because of Ace's passing.
Sure,
but whenever Hotter Than Hell comes on and I'm singing along, at some point in one of the choruses, I sing "Rip, Rip, Rip and Destroy."
I forgot about that. Yeah, the old "Rip and Destroy." That was
the evil Kiss.
The evil Kiss, because they couldn't say "Harder Than Hell" on TV. Much like how when they played in Saudi Arabia, they had to change some song lyrics. That was way back in 2020, though. So, different world back then.
Yeah,
Don,
Christine 16 was fine.
Yeah.
But...
well, depending on what state it was in, Don, it really,
But they had the thing, I was made for hugging you.
Yes. You also pull the trigger on My Love Hugs. So
Yes.
It just replaced so many songs.
My love bun.
Don Jamieson, you're on social media. Well, no. Again, you're on Twitter at Real Don Jamieson. I think Instagram's Don Jamieson Official. Am I right?
Don Jamieson Official 6'7".
Yeah. And I think, oddly enough, Donald Trump Official 6'7" is his Instagram. So again, you keep coming up whenever I try to send you things there. No Sleep Till McSorley's is available as an album and at your YouTube channel. And for me, the most important thing for me to promote every week on this show is 100 Songs That Define Heavy Metal, hosted by the great Brian Slagle of Metal Blade Records. Wherever you find podcasts, my personal podcast is the Blattcast, BLADTCAST. A programming note for our live audience watching our final Who Are These Broadcasters for 2025. Yes, for 2025. Sorry, everybody. We'll be back in 2026. But Eric Zane and I will be back Monday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to squeeze in right between the Creep Off and Point Table Point. It'll be our year in review, which is mostly all the clips that I didn't get to, like the 20 clips that I didn't get to today, Don. But we appreciate everybody's time, everybody who hung out. And again, thanks to Craig Gass. But that is all the time we have for now. As always, this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic. But if any key can fit in the lock, it's a shitty lock. But if a key can open many holes, it's a master key. Is that what we have instead of PDP today? And again, this little piggy will be at the top of the hour over on NLO. We'll see everybody on Monday. Merry Kissmas, everyone.